Welcome to the second JPED of the year. This PD covers Flipgrid. What Flipgrid is it's a video discussion platform in 180 plus countries. It allows you to create a grid community for your classroom. As the educator, you are the topic designer with specialized resources and attachments. The possibilities are endless for you to allow your students to verbalize their learning. And right here, we have the Flipgrid motto. It says, every student has a voice. Let's amplify it. All right, so we're going to start talking about the access that's available for students. And as a student, students do not need to create accounts. All they need is either the URL or a grid code from you to be able to access Flipgrid on any web-enabled device. Okay, Android, iOS, doesn't matter. As long as it's web-based, the students can get to it. Now, you'll see here that Chromebooks and PCs are separated from iPads, iPhones, and Androids. That's because there is a Flipgrid app that's available to use the grid code. And if they are on a PC or Chromebook, they can just use the grid URL, or they could use a code or QR codes actually as well, which I'll show you in a minute. All right, now we're going to check out Flipgrid as a user or as a student. And we're going to go to flipgrid.com and we're going to enter this code. Once we enter this code, there'll either be a password or it will require us to enter our email. And then this green plus sign is always what we see when they want us to record a response. So if I go to Flipgrid, I'm just going to copy this right here. This is flipgrid.com. This is just the main web page. And then as you can see, there's an educator login up here, but the only student option is to enter the code. Okay, so once I enter the code, I see this topic and it says, how do you Flipgrid? And you can already see me here. I've already done this once. But it says to introduce yourself and share how you plan to use Flipgrid with your class. So if I click this record button right here, I'll log in with Google. It wants to have access to my microphone and my camera, which I'm going to allow. I'm on a Chromebook, so I have my microphone and my camera already built in. You can see up here that they're going to give me 3 minutes to record my response. And here is my topic again. Again, how do you Flipgrid? And then I have stickies here, which are just little decorations, which they're it's like a Post-it. I can just write a little note. Options, my camera size, my audio, and then I could import a video instead. Okay, so to record, I would just press this red button right here. And I'm going to go ahead and record a mock video just so you can see what it looks like. So my response to how do you Flipgrid? We have many teachers on our campus that use Flipgrid. One way that we use it is that we see how students process their thinking in their math. So if we give them math questions, we ask them to respond to a topic stating how did you get your answer, so they can detail to us how they took the steps to get their answer. Okay. When I pause it, I can go to next. We have many teachers on our campus that use Flipgrid. One way that we use it is that we see how students process their thinking in their math. So if we give them math questions, we ask them to respond to a topic stating how did you get your answers. Now, I didn't want to talk over the video, but it had the option to download that video. I could trim the video down if I didn't like parts of it. And then this part allows me to snap a selfie. So this selfie would just go on the front of my video, just as kind of like the cover page to it. And then you can add little things to it. I call this like the little flare. And then I can either undo, redo, or submit it. Okay, once I submit, it tells me that my video is visible in the topic, and it says I can download my video or my selfie, and then I'm just going to press complete. All right, so once I do that, my video is available right here. If I click it, it would play. I could comment on anybody's video. We have many teachers. And then I could also do the equivalent of like a Facebook like. I could like the video, which is just like a smiley face with little sunglasses. Okay, so from here, I'm going to log out. I'm going to go back to my presentation here. All right, creating a Flipgrid account. So creating a Flipgrid account is really easy. You have two options. You can either enter all your info, your name, your email address, and all that good stuff, or you can sign up with Google or sign up with Microsoft. Okay, so we all know this sign up with Google is a pretty amazing thing, so that's what I would recommend. But once we do that, our first step would be to create a grid. Now, the grid holds all your topics. So a grid is for your students, personal learning, community, staff, school, or anyone that you give access to. You have complete control over your grid. Okay, and the grids hold our topics. And our topics is what you just saw me respond to. So the topic that I responded to was how do you Flipgrid? These are two more examples of a topic, and these are the discussion questions, themes, or challenges that you want students to respond to. Now, you can moderate these videos, so you have complete control over them. You can either allow them to post and students to respond to them, or you can change the privacy on them to where they're not allowed to do that. Okay, and once you add the topics, that's when the students can share with each other. The videos are between 15 seconds and 5 minutes. Unlimited retakes, so you can pause it, you can trim the video. Students have a little bit of editing rights there. They can personalize their grid images with stickers and drawings, just like I did with the little Halloween hat. And then they can add titles, hashtags, attachments, all that good stuff. Okay, so now let's go back to Flipgrid and let's actually see the website from the teacher's perspective. Okay, so this time I'm going to log in as an educator. Okay, so here's that screen if you wanted to sign up. I'm already signed up, so I'm going to go ahead and log in with Google. All right, so here is where you're going to take that first step of adding your grid. So if I wanted to add a new grid, these are just some of the basic options for my grid. First, it says create a community type. So I recommend the school email domain, and then it's going to ask you to name your grid. I'm just going to call this practice. And then you can even create your own custom flip code. And it'll tell you if it's available or not. So I'm just going to title that Practice JPEG. And then you can personalize that. So this is the top of your grid. So what students see once they sign in. So I'm just going to pick a picture. Okay, so since I entered school email domain as the type of community, now I can actually add those domains. So I want anybody with the DaytonISD.net to be able to get in. So I'm going to type that in and press enter. And then I want students with their BroncoMail.net to be able to get in. So I'm going to type that in as well. Okay, I can customize my grid here, or I can view the grid as a student here. So let's customize it first. All right, so here are all the details we already typed in, community type. It's kind of just as an overview of what we've already done, except these little features in section 3. It says notify me. It says receive an email when your student videos are added. And then grid followers. So this is the same thing, but on a student end. So do you want students to receive notifications of new topics are created and new videos recorded? Here you can either call your grid active or inactive, and that is exactly what it sounds like. It's either active and viewable for the students, or it's inactive and nobody can view it. Allow students to download their videos after creating a response. So if you want students to have that access to their videos and be able to download them, you want this to be green. If not, turn it off. And then captions. So they display auto-generated captions. Here, this is our top of our grid, so how we customized our little photo, or you could put a personal one. You could drop a file here or upload one. So I'm going to update my grid. All right, so now that I've created my grid, it shows me under my grid 2 topics. Okay, it shows this ideas one is inactive. I'm going to make it active real quick just to show you what it's going to look like from a student side. So again, I have this grid, and then I have 2 topics under my grid. So let's look at it from a student perspective. Okay, so when I created my grid, it defaulted and gave me the topic of introduction. So that's that topic right here. And then that's the picture that I picked. So this is a grid. This is the topics to which they respond. So let's go back and talk a little bit more about topics. Make that inactive again. So as you can see, for each topic, there were 3 categories: active, frozen, or inactive. We've already talked about active and inactive. But this frozen, what it does is it allows students to view the videos, but they cannot add anything new. So they can view things that have already been posted into the topic, but they cannot create anything new. Now, if we wanted them to go straight to a topic, they would need this code right here. So I'm going to click this code right here. And since it's logged with the student domain, you have to log in each time to get to anything. Okay, so this is my introductions topic, and as you can see, since it took me straight to my topic, all I have to do is press this green plus sign, and that would allow me to record what you've already seen. Okay, so let's talk about these options under the topics. So topics, we can share it with our students in 3 ways: URL, embedded, or a QR code. And that's the QR code that we could download and send to our kiddos. We could also link it straight to Google Classroom or to Remind 101. Here's the topic link, or here's just the flip code if you wanted to send them to flipgrid.com instead, which you could put on your Clever if you wanted to. All right, so actions here. We could edit, we could add a topic guest. So if I had a teacher or I wanted to add a collaborator that had a different school domain, I could add to Discovery. Now what Discovery is that's just a community of learning for teachers just to get ideas for new topics and such. I can go straight to view videos that the students have already posted. I could move this topic up and down, or I could duplicate or copy it or delete it altogether. Let's edit it. Okay, so editing a topic, it's the same as if you were creating a new one. I could call it introductions. I'll just edit it a little bit. Call it intro. I could add a topic tip. I could adjust the time. Again, it's from 15 seconds to 5 minutes. And then I can create a topic display date. Okay, here is just the description of the topic. So basically, what do you want them to respond to? So this is just a little welcome, tells them to introduce themselves in 90 seconds or less. Here's the video moderation that I was talking about. So if you turn this on, you have to approve videos before they are posted to the grid so you can make sure that they're appropriate. Or if you don't want to approve them at all and you just want to be able to see the videos, you can turn this on and then view the videos as you please, and then never give the students the option to reply to one another if you don't believe that that is something that you want to do. All right, here's the active and inactive and frozen again. This allows you to freeze it at certain dates. All right, so this is a topic resource. So they entered this little GIF here, but you could do a video, an emoji, anything to engage or promote your topic. You can add up to 9 external links that you think would be helpful to your kiddos. It could be Google Docs, YouTube, whatever, again, to enhance your topic. Okay, so here's the video features. So this is what you're allowing your students to do. So do you want them to be able to decorate selfies? Do you want it to be public or private? Do you want students to be able to react to each other or to reply to each other? Do you want to show how many times each video has been viewed? And then this allows students to create their own title for their video. So all this is optional. All right, then you can click basic feedback or custom feedback. Custom feedback allows you to create a rubric to grade it, or you can just provide basic feedback on the students' responses at your leisure. Okay, so here we have our topic again. And I'm going to go back to my presentation. All right, so how do you Flipgrid? So teachers at the school that I'm at right now, we use it in math and in reading, I know for sure. And then as math, as I've already said, students are allowed to record videos to describe how they've gotten the answers, so the steps that they took to justify their answer. And then in reading, we use it in our reading stations at the elementary level so that they can read aloud and we can assess that they're reading and that they practice their reading, and it helps hold them accountable for it. Now here are ideas for pre-K through 8, high school. Lots of good ideas out there. This is just a couple of short lists. Again, the Discovery Library has a bunch of ideas, and that's via flipgrid.com. Flipgrid, of course, as most of you use the Google Classroom, so it's great that it has that little button to allow you to share directly to your classroom. And then here is this last little bit of resources. Twitter has the hashtag Flipgrid Fever, which has a tons of topic ideas, and then just some other ones through flipgrid.com if you need ideas, resources, or just help, or if you want to get certified to be a Flipgrid educator and earn a badge. But that is it for this JPED. Let your ITS know if you have any questions or if you want help getting started. And don't forget to take your quiz online. Thank you.